Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
We're live.
Are we?
Are we?
We're now live.
Where?
What do you mean where?
Where are we
On
live?
the interwebs.
On the internet.
Oh.
Twice.
I'm kind of digging this, Tim.
I'm taking
Oh,
what?
I like that.
The
video.
Yeah, the only thing is you can see what I'm talking about if you watch the very bottom of everybody's screen. You'll see how it screen tears a little bit for some reason.
Oh.
I don't know why it does that.
That's
It's
not
just-
too bad though.
It's just
Yeah,
it's
not super
it was
noticeable.
doing it vertically before and it was very noticeable. Like it was like half of my face was still on screen while the rest of my face was over here. And it was really weird. But it's not doing it as bad now. So this works.
Good.
I think.
We've done well.
It
We've
does.
done well. We
This is the best we've done.
we ghetto jobbed it together and listen. I guess apparently yesterday one of my mods called
Oh,
me
I was there for that.
the most ghetto of ghetto MacGyvers apparently. That's
Yeah.
what I am.
That's when I tried to jump in the chat after he said that, and then, like, his desk is fucking built out of boxes, cardboard boxes.
That's not the desk I'm using anymore though now. Like, but yeah, I had a desk. I have
It was the time.
It's downstairs actually. It's built out of a broken bookshelf and cardboard boxes. Get off the coffee table.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Now you get off the table. He's sassing me.
girl.
He's telling me get off the table. I am off the table. You get off the table. Come on.
Tim fell off of that table a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, man.
I'm definitely not playing Madden while I'm talking to you.
No, you're just, controlling your video through your Xbox.
Why do you lie?
I'm not lying. I mean, technically at the moment I'm not. I'm taking my son off of a coffee table and he magically appeared behind me. I don't know if you noticed that. He just
while Logan appeared.
I put him down back there and now he's here.
Tim,
Now he's gone
do you
again.
sometimes
What?
wish that you had a hat that you could just throw at people and possess them?
No, because I'm not Mario.
It's so-
Mario is the hat.
So-
That's the
7
thing, right?
days.
No, the hat is Mario.
Cody, are you gonna pick that game up?
I probably will, because it probably will be one of the better games that they'll actually make for the Switch. They don't have any
Yeah.
multiplayer to fuck up, so
I know, right?
it's just a single player game, so it'll probably be great. I
dude,
probably.
I saw Famitsu gave it a 39 out of 40.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what the fuck that is. But
That's like the most prominent Japanese video game.
39.
remake.
Who rates things out of 40?
Literally only.
apparently Japanese.
39 out of 40? Because that's a nice even number that anyone can
I know it seems
put on a
really
scale.
bizarre.
Yeah, it
Like
is
now that
really
you bring it
bizarre.
up, I want to see their like reviewing rubric and how they break it down.
Yeah.
They might break it down into 4 different categories, and each category is at a 10.
1 to 10 or something.
Yeah,
Right.
I suppose. What
I
are
really
you
liked
doing?
how X-Play did it, like 1 through 5.
Right.
Yeah.
X-Play was the fucking shit.
Yeah.
I remember that show. I used to watch it all the time as a kid. When I
Okay,
used
dude.
to have cable that I refused to
Adam
pay for now.
Sessler was
This kid has wanted nothing to do with me. The entire time I was watching the Minnesota Timberwolves game, trying to get this 2-year-old to come snuggle with me. While I was watching it on my phone so he could watch Dora on my television. And
yeah.
and this boy wants nothing to do with me. And then I press start streaming.
I think you need to try and sign him up for like a baby commercial, because he seems to love the camera, and the
Yeah.
camera loves him
He
too.
doesn't know that the camera's on. He doesn't understand.
Don't you
that.
lie to me. It happens every time you start the stream. He understands.
Who knows?
Go play with your toys. Ah, boom. Anyway,
So Justin, what have you been playing?
Warhammer 40k, the tabletop game.
You son of a bitch. You
wow,
do get to do
that
all
was
the cool-
aggressive.
Right, because I feel like Justin always gets to do all the tabletop stuff that I would love to do, but I don't live
does,
there, so
because-
I don't get to do it.
Yeah, he does because he goes to I forget-
what's that
Dungeons
place?
End.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it still Dungeon End?
yeah.
Yeah, they've actually done really well. They're doing super good.
I'm surprised because I know that location changed like 6 times within like 2 years or something like
Oh,
that.
long, more than that.
No,
Yeah.
you're thinking of a different gaming shop, I think, because in West Duluth there was a
Right.
place called Gamers Cove, for a while,
Mhm.
and that shut down. And then in a different location, Dungeons End opened up, and that's just been flourishing ever
Wh-
since they opened.
Which one of them used to be the Quilt Shop? It was literally just
Um,
called the Quilt Shop, and then it eventually became one of the gaming stores. It was
I
something
think
else.
that was Gamers Cove.
Is that that the one? That's the one on Central then, right? That was the one that was on Central.
I don't know what road these things are on. I
One of
never had to
them.
drive when I lived there.
One of them.
It was like
was on
by
the-
Super One kind of.
Yeah, that must have been
The one I'm thinking of is
Yeah.
downtown.
Downtown, yeah, that
Yeah.
was that Robin Goodfellow way back?
Yes,
And then
yeah.
it became
Yeah.
Dragonport.
Is
and
that
now it's
Dungeons End or no?
Robot. No, that's different.
Okay.
There is basically we have a West Duluth shop and then a downtown shop, and they're two different entities,
Right.
but they're the same kind of place.
Right.
So downtown is Rogue Robot, which like I think the owners are kind of. A lot of people feel like the owners are more laid back,
Right.
and so a lot of people like to go there. But I'm a West Duluth boy, so I go to Dungeons
It's
End.
just a lot
100%.
easier. Yeah.
I mean, it's closer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not that Duluth is big,
It's
but
like 6 blocks from your house.
right.
yeah.
Who'd you
Ethan,
play
did you
as?
stop streaming?
What? No, we're live.
Oh, never mind.
No,
That's fine.
yeah, I got you. Who'd you
so
play as?
I
Did
built.
you play as a Tau?
Yeah,
You
God damn
would.
it.
You would.
I have the Tau.
You
For the greater good.
Stupid
Fucking
space
weirdo as
elves.
fuck. No, they're
No,
not
they're
space
not the
elves,
space elves,
bro.
that's the
They're
Eldar.
space communists.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's the elf.
Yeah, dude, it was pretty fun. I was playing against Alan, who's using the
Space
Astra
communist.
Militarum, and so me and Alan have this thing going way back where he would always try to beat my battle suits that had really good armor by using plasma guys. And when you attack with plasma, you can overcharge it to do more damage.
Right.
But if you roll
It
a
can
1, you blow
explode.
yourself up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So he tried doing that and it would never work for him. So he just stopped using it against me. And tonight we were playing and he just got really lucky and like killed like all of my guys. I had 1 unit left, 1 model left. And so he's like, all right, I'll overcharge this for that final shot just to be a dick. And he does it.
And blew
And-
up on him.
He fucking blows himself up. And I'm like,
Yes!
yes! Personal victory. I may have lost the game, but I won that.
That's
I
funny.
may have lost the war, but I won this battle.
The battle. Right. You gotta take the little victories.
The
Did you paint your own
pennies.
models?
Did I what?
Did you paint your own models?
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of painting. I've assembled a good chunk of the models that I own,
Right.
but I've only painted I've fully painted like 4 of them,
Mhm.
and then I've got like some base coats and stuff on a bunch of the other ones.
Right.
I gotta
'Cause I
send
know
you a
that shit
picture of
takes
the most
fucking
recent.
ever.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be really into painting. Hate it.
Right.
Hate it.
Right. I
It's
tried
'cause
it when I was
it's a-
younger, and I was
it's
just
a-
like, "The fuck
It's
is
such
this?"
a pain in the butt. Like you see all these. I've tried to do it a couple times. The miniatures, like the really well done ones, always look like they get these super fine details in there. You pick it up and you're like, you painted his eyes blue. How did you do that? And I try and do it, and it's just like a blob. It's just a blob of color. It looks like a 2-year-old did it. I'm like, this is stupid.
Right.
Logan would be
It's
better at
tough.
it than I am.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Warhammer 40K. It's speaking of that, I picked up started playing Inquisitor Martyr again last night.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's fun as fuck. It's super
Yeah.
fun. It's essentially Diablo in 40K.
That's what it looked like. Yeah.
And there's 4-player co-op, which is nice. There's still bugs. Yeah, see them eyes. Yeah. So the co-op wasn't implemented when I first started playing or whatever because it was super early alpha.
What about
was
the
like,
eyes?
okay.
What?
When I said that Justin's eyes got all big, when I said
Oh,
there was
yeah.
4-player co-op.
I was not
Not
looking
your
at
eyes,
Madden.
Jim.
I'm definitely not. Don't look at my glasses because I'm definitely not playing Madden while we're having this conversation.
But so yeah, but there's 4-player co-op or whatever, and it's come such a long way because like before it was so new, like I couldn't run it or whatever, and it wasn't because obviously my
Just
specs
not
aren't good enough. It
optimized.
just
It's like-
wasn't optimized for
It
my
was like
kind of raid.
the yeah.
It was terrible. I would get like 6 frames, and I still played through like a level just to kind of get a feel of what they were going for or whatever. And I could
Yeah.
kind of understand what they were going for or whatever. But yeah, I played it. I played a couple levels. It's fun. You know, they don't shower you with loot like maybe Path of Exile and Diablo does or whatever, but you get loot from every mission and stuff like that or whatever.
Right on.
There's crafting that I don't understand anything about yet, but there is crafting in the game.
I was
And,
gonna say I don't feel like Path of Exile and Diablo. Well, like specifically Path of Shower you would loot, but then I was like, it kind of does. It's just not loot you
Yeah.
want to keep.
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
no, you
Yeah, it's
don't
a bunch
pick
of shitty
anything
stuff.
up. Yeah, you.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It's a lot of it's shitty, and this you get loot. You get loot essentially from like the bosses, the mini bosses that you fight in every level and stuff. So like in the 2 or 3 levels I've played, I've killed Sentinel or whatever, which was cool as fuck because I killed the Sentinel.
Like
And
the walker thing.
right, yeah, like the AT-AT kind of thing or
Yep,
whatever.
yep.
Not AT-AT. That's not what I was thinking of. You know what I'm going for though. It's not an
AT-AT?
AT-AT. Yeah, it's not an AT-AT though. I'm thinking of the little walkers.
ATST?
Is that what it is? I forget what
I
it
don't
is.
know. I don't know.
But
I'm
anyways,
not-
the little walker dudes or whatever,
Yeah.
they have similar things in 40K or whatever, and it was really cool because like when it was like a long fight or whatever. I'd killed essentially everybody else because I was the extermination mission, which essentially you just go in there and you kill everybody. And I
Yeah.
play as a crusader, a melee crusader. So that you got crusader, psyker, and assassin. Psyker hasn't been implemented yet, but each of those classes has 3 subclasses or whatever. So my dude is like pure melee. Like I literally run around with a tall ass power shield and a fucking. I now have a power axe, but you start out with a chainsaw or whatever. And so I'm sitting there fighting this fucking sentinel or whatever, and I finally get its health low enough or whatever that I kill it. And it had this cool kill sequence or whatever where you like climb up the top of it, you rip the fucking hatch open, and the dude tries to come out, and you're just like, "Gah!" Just like right through the
Yeah.
chest. It's super
yeah.
good. It's super
I was
good.
just gonna ask, like, is it grimdark? Is it gory?
Yo, it's gory as fuck, dude. Like I have this move where you just slam your shield on the ground or whatever, and like if the enemy's health is low enough, they just fucking explode into pieces and shit or whatever. Like it's great. It's gory.
Beautiful.
They got Nurgle, they got Chaos, or like Chaos Cultists, and they got.
He said pieces and shit, so I pictured them exploding into shit.
I mean, some of the gore. I mean, you don't really know what it is. There's probably a little bit of shit mixed in there, anyways.
Yeah.
But they got Nurgle. Like I fought a dreadnought that was taken over by Nurgle or whatever. Right,
Yeah.
right, and that was fun or whatever. It's hard as fuck, but they actually on some of the levels now they have like turrets that you can take control of or whatever. So like when you encounter them, it's being controlled by somebody, and so you got to go kill the operator. But once you kill the operator or whatever, you can take it over. And so like I couldn't take the dreadnought on one-on-one, so I like lured the dreadnought away, and then my dude has a jetpack, so then I jumped over him, and I jumped on the thing and started fucking shooting him with it or whatever. It's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of really cool things in it. The skill trees I don't really understand yet or whatever because you don't get skill points that easy or whatever. But it seems that your character mostly gets better by more gear kind of thing. And so the fact that you can kind of create the gear makes it probably won't feel as grindy-ish, but it's going to be a little bit of grinding in there. But I mean, if you're doing it 4-player co-op, it's probably not as bad. So, but yeah, it's good stuff, man. I'm
40K,
surprised.
Great setting.
Right, it is, but they're so hit and miss on their games. They're so hit
They
and miss
are,
on their
yeah.
games.
They have so many games. There's so many.
Right.
There is a little bit of oversaturation with 40K video games.
Well, yeah, Games Workshop just like start letting fucking Joe Schmo make games or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, the ones that are good are legitimately really good. But the ones that are bad are really fucking bad. Yeah, Space Marine was amazing. It was still a good game. Still a good game. If you haven't played Space Marine, anybody watching, do yourself a favor. It's on Steam. Just buy it. It's good
like
shit.
$5.
Just do it.
Worth
Well,
it.
I don't know.
Do it.
I don't know if it's $5 right now.
I don't know. I think I picked it up for like $5.
Quote
But I also already had it on like I had bought it on Xbox.
I have it on 360 too.
Yeah, I traded it in on my 360 when I started getting Xbox One games. It was one of the games kind of like I already rebought it for my PC, thinking that I would be able to still play it on my PC, and you can still play it, but you're gonna play with Russians if you play the multiplayer.
Right.
And
Oh,
you're
thank
gonna
you
have
for
a
the
terrible
link, Justin.
game.
That's
Yep,
exactly
you're
what I was
welcome.
talking about. So,
Doesn't
but
matter,
yeah,
though.
yeah. So it's good. I was actually surprised. Obviously, from the first time I played it, it's just made a lot of good leaps and bounds. But there's still bugs. It's still technically an alpha beta-ish stage, or whatever.
Mhm.
So there's still quite a few bugs running around there, or whatever. But is it
Sure.
playable and is it probably fun to play with other people? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but it's $50 right now, which is probably a little steep.
Yeah, I
A
would.
little
Yep.
steep for that or whatever. So when I
Wow.
bought it so early in the process. I think I got it for like 25 or $30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's probably more near its price range of what it's actually worth, kind of thing. So, hey, but if you're looking for a good co-op game and you like Diablo, up your alley.
Nice. Keep an
So,
eye on it.
yeah. So add it to your wish list when it
Hey.
goes on sale. Snag it.
Hey, get off the table. Logan
Is
Daniel.
there a table on your couch? I don't
No.
understand.
What? That is the table.
Yo, you should
That
probably-
is the
probably
table
get
that
rid
he's
of that.
standing on. That's the coffee table. Sit down. You get down.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
You get
Yeah.
down nicely. I'm not gonna. Thank you.
What have you been playing, Justin? I think I already asked you
video
this.
game wise,
Yeah.
God, I feel like I haven't even been playing anything, honestly. I guess I've been playing Breath of the Wild again because I want to.
Beat
In my
it.
mind, I was like, I want to beat Breath of the Wild before Mario comes out because all I've really got left to do is get into the castle and fight Ganon. But I just love all the side activities in that game. So I'll start like walking to the castle and I'll be like, oh, what is this? What is this flag up on this mountain? I better go check it out.
Right. It's
You know, like
it's,
an
it's
hour
the Skyrim
later.
thing, dude. It's the Skyrim thing. Like you
Absolutely
just
is.
it's like ooh, piece of candy. And you just like fucking 3 hours later, you're like, what the fuck was I doing? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I'm over here
They
swimming,
really-
trying to catch fish. Like I don't understand what the fuck's going on right now. Like,
They just nail that that gingerbread trail, man. Like everywhere
Right.
I go in that game, it's so rewarding and like so cool. Like I
Right.
think the most recent thing I found was the shield surfing up in the mountains in the northern part of the map.
oh, I didn't do it up there, but I know. Did you find the dude who teaches you how to do it underneath that tree in the like the very first area? There's a dude
No,
who teaches you how to
no.
do it. Yeah, there's a
No,
dude who
dude.
teaches you how to do it. So
Pisses me off because in the game there's like the
aren't you like 100 hours in?
I'm more than 100 hours. I'm like
And
130
you just
hours
figure
now.
out
I've
the
never
shield
seen
surf?
that guy. No, okay, so I knew how to shield surf for a while. I knew how to
Right.
do it.
Okay.
But I totally missed that guy, and it pissed me off because in the menus, it
Mhm.
shows you like tutorials for the things that you've learned or whatever, and one of
Right.
them question marks for me, and that's why, because I never fucking met that guy. I never did that tutorial. It drives me nuts. I don't know how to do the tricks on the shield though.
I don't either. I never utilized it after I found said dude because
Yeah.
the parachute thing's it's way more convenient. You
better.
can use it
Yeah.
all the time, and the distance you travel is crazy. So
Yeah,
but,
exactly. There's no
but-
point really.
right. But you know what I think they did nail it. They nailed the if you want a game that you want to explore and kind of like see all the nooks and crannies, you're gonna get rewarded for it. Like
Yeah,
I remember.
absolutely.
I remember what's the fish people? I forget what their name is.
Zora.
Right. So like, but if you go
Yeah.
underneath like their little palace thing or whatever, they're in the water. There's like chests and shit or whatever that you can
Yeah.
magnetize out and stuff like that. You get that for just kind of exploring the area and stuff or whatever. It's just nice
Mhm.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of at the same time or whatever, like I know you took a break from it. You know, like
Yeah.
everybody, like
Yeah,
it
I was
gets
playing
it gets
some
to
other
one.
stuff.
It gets into that thing like once again. There's so much fucking shit to do. Like after a while, you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go play something else for a while.
Yeah.
Sometimes you come back and sometimes you don't.
Right.
It's kind of like the downside of those kind of games or whatever. a
Yeah,
little-
I mean,
like
I
it's
think
a plus and a minus.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of bad because you're playing other games, but
Right.
you go back and it's still so fresh.
Right.
There's
still
always
a great
more to
game.
do in games.
Right.
like
It's
that,
still a
but
great game.
I have
That's why
nothing
you-
to contribute to this conversation.
Right.
though.
Well, that's why.
Tim,
well,
get
but
a
Tim, that's
Switch.
Tim. Well, no, it's not even that. We can compare it for Tim. We can compare it to Fallout or Skyrim.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
still
same kind of thing.
What do you got? Like 150 hours in fucking Fallout. You still haven't done the main campaign.
I could look. It's more than that.
You know,
it's like 175 hours. I've only like just
Yep.
scratched the surface of the main campaign.
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
So good.
right. And I mean, I can't imagine how much time if to do everything you can do in the fucking Witcher 3. I can't imagine how much time that would take.
Oh my
I'm thinking
God.
like 300 hours. I'm really like
At
legitimately.
least.
I'm thinking like 300 hours just to do everything in that. Like,
Well, especially because with a lot of games like that, specifically like The Witcher, it doesn't just have the open world stuff of other open world games, but it also has like the choice factors for replay value.
right,
So
right,
like
yeah.
like
you can play through it. You can put 300 hours into one playthrough and then put 300 hours in another playthrough and not play it the exact same way.
right. Yeah, yeah, you can go through one time being the nice guy and whatnot and fucking all the bitches, and then you can go through the next time being a total dick and killing bitches and
Fucking all the
them, like,
bitches.
right, it's just whatever. So, but yeah, those games, like, they're so good, but at the same time, it's just like, oh man, it's so much, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
Never
Not
enough.
be overwhelming.
see, Tim
So
says that.
Never
Tim
enough.
What
says
do we
that.
got for topics, guys?
one more.
What else do we got?
Loot boxes.
We're already half an hour
Yeah,
Loot
right.
boxes, man.
Loot box. I
Let's
think we
talk
started
about
late.
'em.
Yeah. We started a couple minutes late. It wasn't that bad. Like we've been going for. Oh, I'm dropping frames. My stream just died.
Yeah, a little bit.
Rip.
Yep. Rip.
Refrigerator.
I'm refreshing.
My bitrate like literally went all the way down to 0. It's better now, but like
Yeah,
went all
it's
the way
back.
down to 0. It's weird.
It's back.
But yeah, no, the UK government is potentially going to take action about loot boxes.
Right.
Hi, Joda.
Hi, Joda.
Yeah, I watched that little clip. What is the idea? Is a member of parliament
Mm-hmm.
who wants
Yeah.
to basically
They want it
Label-
classified as gambling.
Right. Because at the end of the day, they're trying to think of the people that are playing the games or whatever. The age or whatever is kind of what the issue is. You got
Right.
people specifically like Overwatch. Like you got a bunch of little kids that play that game. Like you got
Yeah.
like 12, 13-year-olds. Same thing with like League of Legends or whatever. You got younger audience members that are playing that are buying these loot boxes that, you know, at the end of the day, there is a chance factor to them kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Right.
the UK's thinking essentially is like, hey, we should be trying to protect the minors essentially in this situation or whatever. Do I necessarily agree with it? Man, like it's kind of like for me personally, it's like if they do it, it's whatever. If they don't do it, it's whatever. Because at the end of the day, like I already know Tim's gonna go into this because we are kind of talking about it earlier, but it should be on the parent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the parent should be
Yeah,
controlling
right.
that shit or whatever.
Right.
So,
Like if you don't know,
it's like
if you buy a game for your kid, and there's if you're literally at this point, most parents are what, in their 20s and 30s and 40s at this point, right? So most of them you would think would have some level of awareness of what's going on with micro. Like they've at least heard of it once. Maybe
Right,
on a TV show, maybe when they're watching their morning news or whatever, they've heard something about it. So my thing is, like, if you're buying games for your kids and you're not aware that there's microtransactions in the game and you're not monitoring the microtransactions that your kid are making, that's on you. That shouldn't be on the dev. However, on the rating systems don't classify these things as gambling, and I think that because there's a guarantee that you get something. It's not what you want necessarily, but you get something. I don't think it's necessarily gambling, but I do agree that, at least in this, maybe not restrict or outlaw loot boxes in any way, but like at least bump games with this type of microtransaction rating-wise from a T to an M. Because if you're going to be spending money in these games, if there's a way for you to input credit card information and spend money and make the adult decision to spend money on something like that, you should have to be like at least 18, you would think.
Right.
No, you don't agree with that?
No, dude. There are parental controls on every system that make this a non-issue if people just are informed.
How many people actually use them? That's the thing. Like,
Well,
I don't
the tools are
disagree.
there.
I don't disagree, but I think that, like, ratings-wise, people like you and me, we're still gonna be able to buy the game just fine. The kiddies are still gonna get their hands on the game because the parents are still gonna buy it for them. So realistically, meh. But
Yeah, exactly. Nothing would change about it. And yeah, like you said, the ESRB has already come down and said, hey, you get a reward no matter what, so it's not really gambling in our eyes.
right.
So I think it's
Well-
really a non-issue.
Well, okay, so I used this analogy earlier with Tim or whatever, but I compare it to like a scratch ticket, right?
not though, because
It kind of is because
You don't always win on scratch ticket. With a loot box,
right. Well, you
always
don't
win
you don't really win with the loot box either.
you
You know
always
what I
get
mean?
something though.
Well, that something could be the equivalent to essentially $1 that you
Eh,
get off a scratch ticket. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
at that point, you're not winning on a scratch ticket either. You got $1 when you spent 5. Like you're still not winning. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But even the
Yeah.
good gear in the game, it's not like if you roll a loot box in Overwatch and you get all golds, you get all gold skins specifically, the rarest items in the
Right.
game, right?
Right.
It's not like you can turn around and sell them. They have no monetary value. The only value for these items, the only value for most of these items in all of these games, you could, with the exception of ones that have trading systems that you can, whatever. But I don't know
Yeah.
of too many games that have trading systems and loot boxes. But like,
CS.
yeah,
CS:GO.
yeah, like I said, I don't know of too many. CS:GO is definitely one,
Right.
or PUBG actually you can as well.
Yeah,
But like,
PUBG now.
yeah,
Yeah.
PUBG has the monetary value with loot boxes, but like with Overwatch, there's no way of trading that.
Right,
skin,
but this,
so-
I mean, we're using Overwatch as kind of like the general because that's probably the most common or whatever. But
Yeah.
this is an overreaching thing for all loot boxes.
Yeah,
So like
that's
in the
fair.
video or whatever, they're talking about Shadow of War. They use that because there is loot boxes in Shadow of War. From what I've encountered, you don't need loot boxes at all in Shadow of War. Actually, you can get loot boxes completely for free if you do online vendettas. And while you're connected to the internet, if somebody kind of dies, like a situation will pop up or whatever. You can go do said situation, kill that captain or dominate them or whatever, and then you get a loot box reward from that or whatever. It's totally free. You know what I mean? This
Right.
is where the monetary exchange comes in, the microtransactions come in. I do kind of have a problem with that a little bit because of the kids, because I mean, we can sit here and be like, oh, there's parental controls, blah blah blah. If you gave an Xbox to any of your parents right now, do you really think they'd be able to figure out how to fucking work the parental controls?
Well, no, for sure.
Well,
I
our
mean-
parents know, but like in this situation, in
Well, that's still the majority of the parents. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know.
we're our generation or whatever, we've started to have kids and stuff like that. But the majority of parents are still older than us. You know what I mean? Like me and Tim, we both have kids. Okay, you know, mine is fresh, like
yeah,
like a week and a half, a
You just-
little over a week,
straight
fresh
out the
kind of thing.
oven. Yeah.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, you know, still got that, you know, nice baby smell going on. Or whatever. But that's what I'm saying. Like most, like if I gave an Xbox to my mom, even when I was fucking 14, there was parental controls. She wouldn't know how to fucking do that shit. She would have had to call my dad. And you know, and the only reason my dad knows he's the IT guy. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just kind of feel like, once again, I don't think it should happen, but if it does happen, it doesn't really bother me because I understand like the thought process or whatever to kind of protect these minors or whatever. Do I think it's gambling? Not really, but I mean, I think there's a basis of an argument there at the very least or whatever that you can make for it. But I don't know. It's
I've
just,
got-
it was
I've got,
curious. I kind of came out of nowhere.
I've gotten like 4
Yeah,
delayed
yeah.
game penalties because my child distracted me from my game and I haven't.
And well, it's a good thing you're actually good at Madden because otherwise you'd be getting your ass kicked right now.
Yeah, I'm
Actually,
actually
actually-
losing, but I'm only down 3-0. But it's the second
well,
half because I've been paying like minimal attention to my game.
right. So yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That was that was interesting.
Interesting, and I hope that it brings up more discussion about like parental controls and stuff, because I think there's some really good systems in place on like current gen consoles.
Right.
Like I don't know if you saw the parental control videos for the Switch, but they're like very like concise and like easy to understand and like they're
Right.
illustrated and shit. So
Right.
like I think any parent can watch those and
Right.
understand how to use them.
Right. I mean, I get that. I just don't feel like the Switch. It is newer, so like, you know, but like right now, it's still not like the PS4 at the end of the day is the highest selling console. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know, so Switch at the end is still the minority, and it will be at least for a couple more years. Well, it probably will be in the minority the entire time, kind of thing, or whatever. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice that one console has that kind of stuff or whatever. But at the end of the day, you have 3 consoles. Xbox is most popular in America, and then you know PlayStation is most popular essentially everywhere else.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So I mean,
I think it's definitely the kind of thing that's going to be more used now that our generation's getting older. People who grew
Right.
up with video games,
right,
It's
right,
like the older generation is not. It's too late, you know.
right. For some of them, some of them older folks, they just they jump on the sticks and they all of a sudden they're whipping your ass. You're like, what the fuck? Where the fuck did
Dude,
this
yeah,
come from?
it's true.
I don't know. I've been beating my dad at video games since I was 4. So I'm not really.
My dad, if it
Whoa.
doesn't come with a mouse and keyboard, my dad can't do it. My dad literally like cannot understand how on an Xbox, like an Xbox controller, PS4 controller, you use the thumbsticks, one to look and one to move. Like he doesn't.
Right. That's
It
dude,
doesn't
my dad
register?
had that same issue.
No,
yeah.
I've told him because there's some games that get ported to PC or even other games that even just come out. Elix, actually, we can get to that later, but as a prime example, I tried to use mouse and keyboard to start that game, and it's fucking god awful. Mouse and keyboard controls.
Dark Souls.
Like Dark Souls, another
You
good example.
cannot play that with it. Like I've seen people like do. I've actually seen people like try and speed run it with a mouse and keyboard on
Actually-
YouTube. I'm like, you're insane. You're
I've
just you
seen-
have
I've
no
s-
life. Like there's
I've
no
seen-
reason to do that.
I've seen people play fucking Dark Souls with a
Showdown.
goddamn what
Wheel.
the fuck?
Bananas.
No,
bongo
no,
drum.
no, bongo drums close. What was the fucking music game with the drums?
Rock Band.
Yes,
I saw
yes,
that.
I've
the
seen
Rock
it.
Band,
Rock Band drums.
the
I was
Rock
like,
Band drums.
what
Yeah.
the fuck do you do with your life?
I don't know how you figure that out.
You're not making any money off of this. Like you're just.
he probably made
And you're
something. 'cause
playing
That's
Dark
got a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
A
probably
lot,
money.
lot of views on YouTube, man. Like that's
Yeah,
something.
That's been
showed
done
up.
so much now that I'm not even like impressed by any of those anymore.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not
like-
impressed. I'm just like, what are you doing
Why?
with your life?
That's my question.
Like
Why?
there's one
Why?
of a guy
Why?
using a
Why
racing,
not?
playing Dark Souls with a racing wheel. I'm like,
Yeah.
how? Why? For what reason? Would
Well,
you actually
I
figure
will
this
say
out?
they might have for Dark Souls in particular, they might have just broke their only controller and they're just a little bit too broke at the moment to go buy a new
Dude.
one, so they improvise.
That could
and
be,
this is
yeah.
and this is what happens. Like you know what I mean?
You,
Like
you improvise with
controllers
with a racing wheel instead of a mouse.
what,
and
if that's
keyboard.
all you have? If that's all you have?
Guys, speaking of controllers, did you see that Sony is putting out a line of the like translucent crystal color controllers for the
Yes.
PS4?
Yes.
Those look so
The
good.
throwback controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like a Mad Catz.
Sounds like what?
Like a Mad Catz control.
Oh God, no, dude.
No, it's a throwback. Come on.
64 ever.
I only had the on N64. I didn't have a clear controller. I had a yellow controller.
Tim, you just don't understand how cool this is. I'll link you. I'll
Logan,
link you, bud.
Logan, no, no.
Stop
You
being
hear that? He's hitting the window with a hairbrush. Like no, just stop.
It's not allowed.
Who
Stop.
do you think you are? Give me the hairbrush. No, he's like trying to sneak back up to the window.
Okay. so
Okay, you
here's
can have the
link
hairbrush.
in
Don't hit the
chat.
window.
I really wish Nintendo would make some controllers like this for the Switch because it's the coolest fucking look. Love it.
Yeah, wasn't this pretty popular with like the PS2?
Yeah, a lot of PS2
Anytime
controllers
you
you
want
see
to-
like this.
Oh, I had PS2.
Yeah.
It's
Alright,
always like
uh,
the purple ones.
Yeah, I had blue one, and I think Ian had like a turquoise one or something.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Something about it hits me right in the nostalgia.
That's
Right.
cool.
No, it looks nice. Tim, we can all see that you're looking at it.
I know. I'm aware.
It showed up over
Yeah,
all
no,
of our faces.
I put it there on purpose.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah,
just
I was like, I'm going to show this on the stream, and then I moved it back off. I have a vague idea what I'm doing sometimes. Every once in a while.
You also break it sometimes.
I mean, that's fair, but usually it breaks in a way that I'm like, why? It should just
Why?
be working.
why?
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
why?
I have something else I want to talk about related to controllers.
Okay. Yeah,
So, they're releasing Doom on the Nintendo Switch,
Yes.
which is cool.
Yes.
And everyone got really excited when they saw that the game was going to feature motion controls, because people who played Splatoon know that playing with a controller and having the ability to like move the controller for like fine-tune aiming is way better than just joysticks. It almost offers a keyboard mouse level of controller aim. And so people were like, yeah, dude, I can't wait to try that control setup in a real first-person shooter.
Isn't
And then they came
the-
out and they were like, no, that's not what we're doing. It's just gimmicky motion controls to do different things.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, wasn't the Steam controller supposed to be able to do that too, right? It's supposed to have.
I believe it does. I was reading a little bit
The
of
Steam
some of the
controller
comments
does do
about
that.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have a Steam controller and it's hard as fuck. Just if you're used to normal controllers or whatever, it's just
Yeah.
to wrap your head around it because literally you can set that sensitivity to wherever the fuck you want. So it can be like a mouse or
Yeah.
whatever. Like you can fucking fly with that shit. And like you know what I mean? And not really realize it. It never really took off or whatever all that much, and it's not really supported a whole lot or whatever. Like there was supposed to be like,
Yeah.
oh, the community can set up all these different control schemes, blah blah blah. Man,
And
fuck
no
that.
one
Nobody
did it.
does it. Nobody does it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it.
I always
That's-
wind up. I do it for myself, but I don't have a Steam controller, so I do it for my Xbox controller. But I always have to profile
Right.
my own things. I'm like, this is just a pain in the butt.
Right.
like,
and
with
that
this
was kind of the
controller-
annoying part. Right.
Which I actually like.
What is that? The Elite?
No, it's not the Elite. I don't have all of the like 6 paddles and the.
That's
no.
4.
This
That's 4.
ju-
The Elite
this
controller
has-
is still. It's still.
This just
amazing.
has a couple of wheels
Super
that they
nice.
kind of work like paddles. Like I can map them on my if I'm using it on Steam, I can map
No,
them
we
to do
can't hear
whatever.
it, dude.
I can't hear any
You
of
can't
that.
hear
we
me?
didn't- Well, now
Oh,
we
now we
can.
can.
But that whole like explanation after wheel was just lost into the darkness.
Oh, okay.
The
Oh,
darkness
yeah.
Of Discord.
Have you guys seen
Yeah.
the Razer Keo that Joda's talking about?
Razer
No.
Keo. No.
Fucking brilliant. It's just a camera, a webcam, with a light on it for streamers.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It'd be nice for green screening.
Simple. Yeah. I just
I-
saw that earlier today, actually. That's
I
pretty nice.
don't know if I see the appeal because my monitor definitely gives me enough light that I don't really need.
Well, you're not
You know what I
trying to
mean?
you're not trying to use a green screen, and you don't play in a room where it's like super dark all the time. Horror games, dude. Horror games. There's definitely an appeal for that because I like to play my horror games with my camera on and all the lights off. So if my camera by itself just had a small light on it that at least put some light on my face, like I legitimately when I played Outlast 2,
So it's not like an additional light to just light up your face.
yeah, it's just like a small light on the camera that projects out and like yeah.
Yeah.
But the freaking
Supposed to give you the ghost hunter look.
Yep.
sure. But like I legitimately at one point took my like a little Coleman electric lamp and was using it to light up my face when I was playing Outlast because I wanted to play in total darkness and it wasn't working. Like you couldn't see me at
Right.
all. So I like, or maybe I was playing Alien when I did that, but I had like this little lamp on my desk and like it looked like I was in a horror movie instead of playing a horror game.
I will say this. I don't really know how much is going to help our streamers, but it looks nice.
Because I'm a potato.
Yeah, it's
I think
a
it
nice
looks
looking
nifty.
product.
Yeah.
It's
Then again,
not
all
full
of
like,
Razer's stuff
crazy
looks
green
nice, right?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of their headsets, but everything else I like that they do.
So
I really
Yeah.
want. You know what? This is completely unrelated. Well, it's not completely unrelated because I've been wanting to get a Razer Naga for a long time. That mouse has a lot of appeal to me. That's the one that has like 18 different friggin' buttons on the side of it. It has just a bunch of.
Oh, dude, yeah,
keys on it.
Andrew.
I think it's literally 12. It's not literally 18. But it's got like 12 buttons on the where
on
you
the
know,
thumb.
yeah, on the thumb.
nope.
No, you have no
Dude.
interest in the Naga. See, I
No,
want
it
a
looks
Naga.
Neither do I.
I don't look. I have a number pad on my fucking keyboard.
I imagine I would
Unless you're
use it
playing
for
an
Arma.
MMO, this is the only thing you need it for. Is a fucking MMO.
Arma.
That's it.
Arma. No,
You don't
I
need you.
totally
I
disagree.
have 5 extra buttons. That's all I need for Arma.
you
I
need to
promise.
look up the control list for Arma and tell me that you can do every single thing off the top of your head on Arma with just like control T, right control M. There's specifically different controls like it differentiates between left control and right control. If you press right control and M on Arma, it will bring up your map. If you your mini map, if you have a GPS, if you press left control and M on Arma, nothing.
Yeah, there kind of are a lot of binds.
There's a lot of keybinds in Arma, and like
Right, but how many-
Cody might not use all of them, but I use a bunch of them.
How much are actually useful? That's the thing. There's
depends
some
on
that
what
are
you're doing.
useful, right? And that's
Because,
what I'm
like,
saying.
there's
Like,
different
do you
ones
need
for
it for
flying.
every fucking game?
I don't need it
Not
for
really.
every game. But I have how many hours in like 1,200 hours in Arma
Yeah,
now?
you're cutting in and out like
You have
terribly
what?
again.
I am.
Yeah, you've been cutting in and out terribly again.
Discord's
That's
not
just
having
yeah, that's just Discord because it's not on the
Well,
screen.
it still sucks for the
Yeah.
conversation because we can't hear what the fuck you're saying.
Right, that's fair. But like, I have like 1,200 hours in Arma, and
Right.
and so like that to me, there's so many uses for that. I don't know.
I don't know. I just look at it and I see a number pad on the side of a fucking mouse and I go, "That's garbage. It looks
See,
like shit," and I don't see a use for it. Like it literally, like I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's just like me personally, I enjoy. I get the one that just has like a couple extra buttons that are right next to the thumb. It's like
Yeah.
3 extra buttons, but
Yeah.
you can it essentially adds like 5 different. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it essentially adds in like 5 different fucking options. And that's literally for the majority of the games. I'm not gonna buy a fucking $60 mouse for one particular game. I'm just not. You know what I mean? Like, no.
Yeah, no, that's I'm perfectly happy with my Logitech. I just
Right.
at some point would like to have I would like to try it is what it is. But like my point that I was making was that Target always has it out on display and never has the mouse in stock. They never
Wow.
ever have it on the shelves. It's always on display, but they never have the actual mouse.
Too popular.
It's
Right.
it's such a pain in the
I
ass.
feel like it's just. I think it's like mostly for like MMO people kind of thing.
Probably.
Yeah,
That's
you know what I
It
mean?
fair.
has a lot of abilities going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The key bindings, like in MMO, you think Arma's bad. Just imagine all the fucking goddamn. I can't.
Yeah, that's pretty much who plays Guild Wars. Like she's got all kinds of hotkeys set up on there.
Right. This is the. All right, hold on. Before we go, or whatever.
We're going?
Pokemon. We're only 9 minutes. We got 9 minutes left.
Oh.
Next topic.
Next topic.
Right.
Boom!
The good old Pokemans. Game Freak announced that the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon is going to be the culmination of their Pokemon series on the Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah.
So no more Pokemans.
Didn't
for
we talk about
3DS.
this?
Nope. We talked about it before we started the show.
Oh,
To
yeah.
catch Justin up to speed.
You're right. We did. Before I pressed the button.
Yes.
Good for Game Freak. Good for them.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same boat.
Good for
like,
the Switch.
right.
Yeah.
Even better for the
Yeah.
Switch. Bad for 3DS. So this is what we were talking about before the stream or whatever. That the 3DS literally accounts for 51% of Nintendo's finances. Like that's
Huge.
insane. Like that's so many. Like I don't know.
Maybe.
I think they sold like 6.5 million or something like units or something. I don't know. It had to be more than that. Never
Had
mind.
to be.
Fuck that number. It had to be
that.
way more than number.
They might have sold
Uh,
that in Japan alone.
Right. It's definitely a lot though,
Yeah.
and I guess they're
I'll look
gonna
it up.
like, yeah, Nintendo is going to continue to support the 3DS or whatever it says, through 2017 and into the future or whatever, which probably means like 2019 kind of
Yeah.
thing. But in the meantime, they're
That's
getting ready to release, I guess, a bunch of like different color 3DSs or whatever. To kind of push sales because for whatever reason everybody and their mom wants a new 3DS for a different color. I don't understand, but it works.
Yeah, they have a
it's
lot.
it's something
I've
that
never
works.
wanted a 3DS. Honestly.
Wow.
I just wanted it for Pokemon.
I've had 2 3DSs and it was a lot of fun.
I
But
could
I don't
play,
really play it.
if I really wanted to. I haven't done it. Like I still play Game Boy Color games on my phone. If I really
Right.
wanted to, if I really did, you can play Nintendo DS and 3DS games on your phone.
You can.
It
but
doesn't take. It does not take that much effort.
Right, but the battery loss and whatnot is just insane generally, or
That's
whatever.
So check
Yeah.
this out. According to Wikipedia, as of June 30th, 2017, Nintendo reports selling 67 million Nintendo 3DS
Okay.
units.
67
I
million.
needed to move the dot. Move
Yeah,
the
you
dot.
needed to move
Or
the
the-
dot. Yeah, you had the decimal in the wrong place.
Right.
That is sick.
Yeah, that's a shit ton of fucking.
But think about this. First launched in like 2011.
Right. Yeah, it's been around for 7 years. Or
Yeah.
That's
six-
impressive. And
Gonna
it's been
100%
like,
ignore that.
it's been pretty strong with its releases throughout its whole span, I feel.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's just surprising, but I think, I mean, the fact that Pokemon is now jumping off, kind of jumping ship, it just kind of shows us the beginning of the end of the era of 3DSs. And really,
Yeah.
if you think about it, the traditional handheld, honestly, Because like the Switch is the new handheld, and it's not a traditional handheld. You know what I mean?
Right.
Being able to hook that up to your
That
TV
system-
and whatnot. and
Everyone was
play it.
kind of shitting on the Switch, and it was back in the early announced days, like, oh, it's portable. I don't give a fuck. But I find myself finding it like it's not like super useful,
Mhm.
but it's nice to like, oh, I'm gonna go cook some food. I'm gonna bring my Switch and like play a game while I boil water.
Right.
Just like little quality of life things like that. Really
Right.
nice.
I'm gonna take a shit and play a game at the same time.
Yeah.
Because we all know that's what everybody does. Like it is. Like, let's just be honest. Like, I mean, everybody
I'm
be
gonna take
scrolling
a-
through their
I'm gonna-
phone.
Take a 3-hour poop while I play Switch.
It's not even 3 hours. You sit there for 20 minutes, you get that long hard poop out or whatever, and then hey, it is what it is. You call
Nah,
it a day.
you play Zelda, you
Right.
forget you're pooping, and you just sit there.
Yeah.
and then you try to get up and your legs buckle
Yeah.
or whatever.
Oh.
That's because there's
So-
no blood flow.
I feel like Game Freak would not have made this decision if the Switch hadn't been so successful. Like, I bet they had like a 2-part plan. Like, if the Switch is successful, buy 3DS. If the Switch is like okay, we'll keep doing 3DS.
Yeah,
They
that's
probably did.
probably right.
They probably did. But I mean, I don't know. My only thing is for this Pokemon game that they're making for fucking the Switch, it needs to break away from its traditional over the top fucking
Top down.
right, the
view.
top down shit. They need to get it a third person camera, and they
Yep.
need to make they need to make like the encounters not like the old fucking Final Fantasy encounters. You know what I mean? Like Final Fantasy
Where
VII.
you see
be fucking
nothing and then
yeah, you see nothing, and all of a sudden you're fighting. Like, no, like it needs to be like, holy shit, I just saw blah blah blah. I'm gonna chase that bitch, and like you get your running shoes on, you know what I mean? It's just
That would
more
be a totally
exciting.
new experience.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I wanted Pokemon Go to be. I want to be like, oh, there's this Pokemon there. I'm gonna go get it.
Right.
Like that would feel really exciting.
Right. It would just I feel like it would just be like a natural evolution. Like you're going from this essentially
Evolution.
right, there you go. But you're going from this essentially limited system because it's a handheld, like it's limited, but to a system that's gonna be able to run games like Doom or whatever. They're talking about putting the
Yep.
new Injustice 2 or whatever. Like you can run games like that. So like the hardware difference has to be astronomical. Like I'm not like super hardware-y or whatever, except for when it comes to, like PC. But I mean, it just has to be. You know what I mean? So what?
Yeah.
Like your vision, hopefully, then is growing. Like you can see it in Pokken Tournament. They already kind of did it in Pokken Tournament or whatever, where they kind of broke away from the traditional 4 move set kind of thing, blah blah blah, and they went to the hey, we're gonna beat the fuck out of each other like we're playing Tekken. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's my only concern is that they strap themselves down to like the old 3DS ways or whatever, and they don't like try to grow with the new product kind of thing.
Yeah. My main concern when Switch came out and they were gonna put a Pokemon game on the Switch, I was like, oh my god, they're just gonna make like a game that's the same on the 3DS and the Switch.
Right.
And that would be the worst possible scenario. So I'm really glad that they're saying, hey, we're done with the 3DS.
Right,
We're
right,
gonna do the Switch.
Right. And I really hope, because it's not like they don't got money. They got all the money in the world. You know what I mean? And it would bring in a new audience. Like honestly, it would bring in a new audience if you break away from that.
Definitely.
You go into
There-
more of an RPG like kind of role. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
super RPG-ish or whatever, but if you go into a more RPG kind of role or whatever, and maybe they can figure out a way to add like RPG elements to the game and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of room to innovate on Pokemon. you
Right.
know?
Right.
There
I
are
think
a lot of
it
systems they've never
Right.
touched.
right. You know what I mean? Like I just don't know what a skill tree would look like in Pokemon.
Right.
Honestly, you know what I mean? Like it'd have to be like, because they already kind of do the skill tree a little bit with like the gym badges, like so and so level Pokemon won't listen to you.
Yeah,
until
up to
blah,
that
blah, blah.
level. you can
But I mean, they could
control,
do something. I guess they could do something based on types or whatever.
Yeah,
If
Yeah.
I'm just
yeah,
sitting here
like
batting
you're
around
better
idea.
at controlling.
Right,
these
you
types.
can like there's a max level, like your character has like a max level of like
Dude,
fucking
That
40
could be
or
the
whatever.
MMO there.
Right. Well, right, and then you'd have like this max level of 40, and then you get like these, I don't know, 5 different skill trees, and like whatever skill tree you decide to go down, you end up specializing, right?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It'd just be cool, and I feel like it'd be a little bit closer to the show, because in the show, you know, a lot of the trainers and stuff like that or whatever.
Why do you
They
want
specialize.
Pokemon to be anything like MLB The Show?
Like, did you say
No.
MLB? He's making a bad joke.
Yeah.
He's making a very bad joke.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, not even the show or whatever. You can look at all the gym leaders. Like, they all essentially specialize. All the Elite Four, they specialize in Pokemon or whatever. So I don't understand why. And you know,
didn't
people,
even
they
need
all
to go
have their
down
favorite.
You didn't even need to go down the show route. You could have just been like in
Right.
every game, every gym, they're all
Yeah.
specialized.
Right.
Like it started with the first games. Like every single gym, it's like only
Right.
fire trainers,
There's a
only earth
theme.
trainers. Yeah, there's always
Right.
a theme.
Right. You know, and I feel like people follow that unless you play competitively or whatever, then it's kind of all over the place or whatever. But essentially, you know, I mean, I feel like people have their favorite. Like, I like to play with ghost Pokemon.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know
Like,
what I
all
mean?
my
Like,
friends,
I love
I
playing
make
with
certain
ghost
I
Pokemon.
like individual Pokemon of each type. Like I find the
Right.
one that I think is the most badass, and then I'll get that one in my party, and then I'll get
Right.
one from a different type. But like I don't ever roll with like 6 fires or whatever. Like it's always like there's kind of because especially for later in the game, like I
You
don't
have
know.
to have some
You have
variety.
to have
No,
balance, yeah.
You're right. But I mean, I feel like that adds more challenge to the game or whatever when you're
Yeah.
having if the
Yeah.
game is kind of forcing you to specialize, and you're gonna fall into the situation or whatever where you're not just rolling everybody because you have a level 50 or 80 or whatever, and you're like, they come out with this and you're like, all right, fuck you, I have this, bye bitch, hyper beam, boom, okay, X, like, you know what I mean?
You pick like the one attack that you can use on anything. Hyper beam. Boom.
Right. You know what I
Suck
mean?
a
But
dick.
you get what I'm saying, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what it becomes. Once you kind of learn the ins and outs of the game or whatever, you get to the Elite Four or whatever, and you're like, oh, you have this, all right,
use
and then you
this.
just fucking and then you just fuck their entire 6-man team, and you're just like, all right, who's next?
Yeah.
Give me the next
They've
bitch.
made
You
it
know what I mean?
easier now because like when they switch Pokemon, you
Right.
get the opportunity to switch
Right.
out immediately.
That's what I'm
now.
saying.
Oh,
right.
you do? That's cool.
Yeah.
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 So, and I don't know. You know what? This for just like batting around an idea. I actually really like this idea.
Yeah. No,
I-
this has
I,
potential. I like the idea of it being a character-based game, less focus on the Pokemon.
Right.
What about you?
Right. I feel like people would like if the character creation and stuff. Like, Tim, we know you don't really like Pokemon.
well, like no, like the appeal of Pokemon for me has always been. This is part of the reason why I don't play Pokemon anymore is because I don't think that there's the monsters in the game. There's car keys. There's a chandelier. There's like it's like
Chandelure is a great Pokemon.
Okay,
bro.
and I realize that like Voltorb is literally a ball.
Yeah.
Magneton and Magnetite, that's literally just magnets.
Right.
But I didn't play with them. Like I don't know. I feel like when I heard that I was like, yeah, I'm out. And so like that was a long time ago now. Like I was like I don't need to ever buy another Pokemon game if they're literally giving me car keys. Good.
I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
Tim.
It doesn't really bother me at all when it comes to that kind of stuff.
John and Sonny,
You are
with
freaking out,
yo, thank you very much.
man.
We appreciate that.
So, but I don't know. I just think that would be fun. I feel like it's a natural evolution. It brings in, and it keeps your adult fans that grew up with it or whatever. It keeps them engaged. You know what I mean?
worry that you're going to get like okay. Think about how every single fantasy
He
series
took
now.
his fucking glasses off. It's serious,
No,
guys.
like
yeah.
I took my glasses off because they're dirty. I'm cleaning
I'm
them.
just giving you shit,
I know.
too.
Oh.
But like every single fantasy series now has a card game on PC, right? Or on Xbox, like Gwent or
Right.
Hearthstone. What I worry you're gonna get for the next Pokemon game on the Switch. As excited as you are about this idea for an RPG, is I worry you're gonna get a trading card game.
Dude,
That-
I-
You're
I hadn't even
going
thought
to
about
get
that,
a
but
trading
that
card game.
well,
why did
I don't
they-
know because I think the release window is 2019. I think if
I think they'll spend 2 years making a trading
I
card
don't
game.
think so. I don't think they would. And honestly, they haven't made a trading card game. They haven't made a trading card. There was a trading card game.
Yeah,
I
back
know.
on the Game Boy.
And it actually, I won't lie, it was
Color or
fun.
Advance? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I think it was Advance. It might have been color. I don't know.
I don't know. It was one of
But-
those.
Right, but I mean, it wasn't bad. You know what I mean? But the thing that always killed me about the Pokemon card game is that it's fucking the rules are garbage. So Final Fantasy VIII game for Pokemon, how dope would that be? That's essentially what I described, Joda. Almost. I mean, that's probably why you're making fun of me. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. Like, I don't know. I hope they don't go that route. Now, I would think it'd be interesting if they did go like the Witcher 3 route and they actually put the Pokemon trade card game in the game.
Oh yeah.
If they made like an
That's too-
RPG type game,
I think
or whatever.
that's too third wall for Pokemon.
It probably is.
Yeah. I don't think Pokemon cards are a thing in the reality of Pokemon.
No, it'd be too self-aware for that.
Right.
Hmm.
I think it'd be interesting, but I don't think it's definitely it's not necessary or whatever. I think it would just add more to the game or
Well, like
whatever.
the Gwent came.
You'd actually
like,
have to spend your money on something other than fucking Pokeballs
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
promotions.
sure.
You know what I mean?
More RPG elements.
Right. So, but Gwent is standalone now. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
it has.
Because Gwent's
been
actually a really good game.
Oh.
Honestly, like I could
I
lose
haven't
myself
played
a couple hours playing
We would
Gwent,
be
playing
honored
Witcher 3 or whatever.
You would join
So,
us.
I mean, there's that.
Jules
love when
Walls,
that
thank you very much for the follow.
happens.
Welcome to the stream.
When a game has a game in it that's actually fun to play. It's
Right.
like it's a nice treat.
Oh no!
He said, "Oh no,
Okay.
watch out."
Watch out
Oh,
for the
no.
card games
He-
taking over the video game.
No, he just like walked up to me. He threw his little car like off to the side and goes, "Oh no, watch out!"
So
You're
all
insane.
right, now that I'm done with my little Pokemon fantasy that I would love to see come true. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now that
I
we've
don't
all
know.
jotted that down for the copyright.
Right. Right, exactly. Hey, the guy who makes Pokemon whose name that I can't pronounce. Here's an idea.
Yeah.
Run with like,
It's all
like,
you.
yeah, it's all you. So I don't know. But anyways, I don't know. I don't got anything else. That was the loot box and the Pokemon thing is the only thing I had for this week, kind of thing. Unless
Yeah.
y'all want me to fucking ramble some more about Shadow of War now that I actually have some time into it, but that's about it. That's about all I got. Tickle, tickle, tickle. This kid's
Logan.
The full-on belly laugh. I'm not even actually tickling him. I'm just doing this. I don't even have to actually tickle him.
he just likes being around his dad.
Pretty much.
So.
Tika, tika. Logan, do you have any closing thoughts? What? He loves a sandwich. Closing thoughts? I love a sandwich.
That is a.
I
that
would
is a good
also
closing thought.
love a sandwich. Cody, closing thoughts?
Warhammer Inquisitor, check it out if you got the extra cash. It's a decent game. Or at least put it on your wish list. It's good shit.
At least.
At least. You got anything, Justin?
My closing thoughts are. We didn't mention this. Cody, have you tried out the video recording ability on the Switch?
Fuck no, I didn't even know I had it.
You didn't
honestly.
even know. Most recent update
look.
added the ability to.
You're my
like,
Nintendo
replay.
guy, all right? Like you're my
I'm here for you
Nintendo
right
guy,
now,
and I
Cody.
just
I'm
need
here
you.
for you
I
right
just
now.
need you to feed me the info, and then because I like to
Let
try
me
this
just lay
shit.
it out. So, when you're playing select titles on the Nintendo Switch, such as The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild or Mario Kart 8, if you hold the screenshot button for a second, it'll record the last 30 seconds of gameplay.
Oh yeah, okay.
Select
PS4,
titles?
Shadow Play, or whatever. Yeah, it's weird. It's not system wide. It's being implemented like on a game by game basis, and like they're gonna have it on everything
It's-
eventually.
It's not just an innate ability of the Switch. It's
Well,
like,
it wasn't. I don't think it was an
No, it's
original.
weird.
I don't think it was because the
It's-
camera. So they did really good. The camera or whatever is built in. Any game you play, you can take a picture. I don't
Yeah, you
think
can
the-
take screenshots.
Right, screenshots are super easy. It's literally on the fucking controller. Like it's just like beep, and you're done. I actually used it for one of the Breath of the Wild puzzles because there's like the Twin
Yeah.
Peaks or whatever,
Yeah,
and like
yep.
the answer to the puzzles for this one.
You have
isn't
to like
here.
go
and you have
over
to
there. I did the
switch 'em.
same thing.
Right. So you take a
Super
picture
useful.
and you can just super easy. You just minimize the game real quick. You bring up your pictures. You look at it like, oh, okay, and then you fucking do it. It's really simple. But the video thing, I can understand why they're only doing a game by game basis, only because their hardware is so shitty compared to the other consoles. And
Yeah,
it probably
I
just
mean-
wasn't built from that. It probably wasn't meant to be in there from the start to begin with.
I wonder
they're
how,
probably
how
trialing.
much how much of that is just like, oh, PlayStation knows this, Microsoft is doing this with Xbox. We have to put this on the Switch.
Yeah. I think that it's something that I hope they improve. Like right now, it's pretty limited. It only can record the past 30 seconds of gameplay. You can't like make it longer or shorter, and you can only upload your videos to Twitter and Facebook. So there's no easy way to like get a hold of your footage and like make a longer video through this process.
You
which is
can
kinda
always
cool.
upload it to Twitter and download it from Twitter. Like you can save your
Well,
own videos.
or
from
you could
Twitter.
do, or you could get a
Pain in the
rig it
butt,
like
though.
Tim taught me, and you can just go ahead and plug that HDMI in the back of your Xbox One and fucking stream the Xbox and just fucking
Yeah.
capture it on your computer and call it a
That's-
day.
Yeah, that's how I stream my computer games now because I mean my computer's nice, but it's not like the most beastly rig in the world. It runs everything, but like if I'm trying to stream things and run things off of my computer, I'm gonna see a performance dip. But if I'm using 2 computers and 3 machines using my Xbox, there's no stress on my desktop whatsoever other than the game. So it's like, all right, we good.
Right. So, but yeah, there's ways around that. But there's still, isn't Nintendo still cracking down on like streaming their shit and whatnot?
Dude, let me tell you a quick story about that. Last time I went to watch a Nintendo live stream, I missed the live stream, but immediately after we were like, oh, we could watch it on YouTube. We go to YouTube, they just uploaded the video, we click on it. I'm sorry, this video has been down due to a DMCA notice. Like Nintendo got home video pulled.
Like, okay, I gotta say this about Nintendo and the crackdowns and everything. There is not a single other gaming company that is shooting themselves in the foot as bad as Nintendo when it comes to that. It's free publicity. Like, there's so many games that people can't afford or they're curious about that they don't necessarily want to go out and buy to check out. And
Yeah.
it's not like unlike the other systems, it's not like you can go to Redbox and get Nintendo Switch games.
Right.
So,
I just saw such a thing on the internet. Not at
is-
our Redbox,
but here-
somewhere.
Here's the thing: they are protecting themselves from stuff that happens, like what happened with PewDiePie recently.
okay, you're protecting
Yeah, they're
yourself
very-
from one idiot making one dumb
Right,
statement.
but that one idiot is the biggest user on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's-
And when
that's
you're
true,
when
but,
you're
like,
peddling, you're
my-
peddling a very kid-friendly environment with your game. You know what I
it's
mean?
still
Even Breath of the Wild doesn't even have Breath of the Wild doesn't have blood. Like the worst that happens is your dude turns red when you hit him. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
It's
Nintendo is
still, man.
very concerned, very overly concerned, I would say, with like their image and their characters being used for
Right.
inappropriate things.
No, I don't disagree with it. I'm just looking at it from like Nintendo's point of view or whatever. And you know, if somebody dropped the N bomb or whatever on a freaking Nintendo game, like all hell would break loose. Like even worse than what happened. You know what I mean? So I get what they're doing. I do agree. It is free publicity. Like I don't understand. Like just let people do it. But I kind of get it. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right,
Yeah.
I'm done.
So yeah, play Switch, record videos, be awesome.
Logan wanted to show you guys his dinosaur. He needs help. I don't.
He needs help. It's a
I
dinosaur.
feel like he
Let him
always-
help him.
I feel like he always needs help. I don't know why. I feel like he's always screaming, "Help me!"
It's one of his favorite things to say. I need help. Help me. It's one of his favorite. He never actually needs help. He just likes to say, "I need
My
help."
daughter's probably gonna run around going "fuck, fuck, fuck" because he can't stop cussing half
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah. Well, I just get please, thank you, and I need help. I mean, it's just. You know,
if there's 3 things your kid was gonna know, that's probably
That's a
it's not
solid.
bad. It's
Yeah,
not bad. It's a
yeah.
solid. It's a solid start.
right.
Speaking of what? Kids?
Solid
Oh.
starts.
Uh,
Fucking?
Joda
I
wants
don't know.
Joda wants to see your child. Is what he's talking about.
She made an appearance for like 35 minutes last week.
Last week he wasn't here. Last week. Last week was his last
She's
Friday.
She's in the bedroom.
That was his last Friday at the
Probably
job
still
that
being-
he's so happy to be done with.
Right, yeah, that's what he was just saying.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't think you understand how like uncooperative my daughter is with my wife trying to feed her. It's stupid or whatever. I'm not even joking. Like something that should take like fucking 15 minutes or whatever takes an hour, and then she pumps afterwards. So there's another fucking like 20 minutes. So then she gets like 40 minutes of time to like sleep. It's
Yeah.
stupid because we have to feed her every 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
It's been retarded. So I don't think you understand, Joda. I don't know. Joda, I think Joda has a kid. I'm not sure. Maybe he does understand. So yeah. Next week I will have her here in my arms. How about
Yep,
that?
so you
I'll
better
make
be
that
here.
deal. I'll make that deal. You don't have a job anymore, Joda, so you better be here.
Logan, do you
Okay.
have any closing
I
thoughts?
need him to warn me when he does this. Because
I
I
never
cuss too
will.
much for this.
It's too entertaining.
Uh,
Logan, can you say hi to Cody?
hi, Logan.
Can you say hi to Justin?
Hi, Logan.
Can you say bugga bugga? Can you say hi to Joda?
I know it's a funny name.
Can you say hi to Joda? Say Joda. You should say hi, Joe. Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe.
Logan,
He says.
Do you want Joda to be your dad now?
Deadpan.
It's like,
Just
Oh,
absolutely like,
man.
what?
is that
Okay,
a
Logan,
thing?
That's it to Daddy.
Oh.
You need Cody? Okay, he needs Cody.
Hi.
All right, Logan, can you
Hi.
say thanks for watching? We'll see you next week. Week? Oh, he said week. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate it very much. We will be back with another episode of Our Life in Pixels next week, probably. I would assume so.
Could be.
Right? Maybe.
I mean, I don't work until the 7th, so I have nothing in the way of me being here on a Friday.
well,
It'll happen.
I don't have this pulled up.
You know what?
How
I'm
dare I?
not going to be able to
Anyway.
do it Friday, actually.
We love you guys. I'll be back in a couple hours with my stream. When are we doing? Where's my headset, Logan? Let go. When are we gonna play that game?
Divinity?
Yeah, Divinity. I barely heard that, but I heard it somehow. I have bad hearing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Justin needs to get a freer schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
that's fair.
Justin's a very busy man.
What
Oh,
about well, when's the next day you don't work, Justin?
That I don't work?
Yeah.
I don't work tomorrow, but I'm playing D&D like all day. So I don't think I'm doing anything Sunday.
Why don't we could plan on doing a long stream, like a 3-hour OLIP stream on a Friday
Yeah.
On a Friday? Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do that.
or
Alright,
whatever.
yeah.
And then we could start it at like, I don't know what, it starts at 10 right now. Start
So
at
like 7. Yeah, 7.
Yeah,
7 to
we could
8,
do that.
right? And then we could go through our time.
Yeah.
We could do something like that
Yeah.
because you're gonna need more than an hour. You're gonna spend an hour creating characters. Like
Yeah,
fucking,
that's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
All right. My son is now back to playing with his toys very loudly. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the outro now, boys.
okay.
Okay, we love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.